Hi guys, welcome to the pre-event to the Apple Unleash. If you just bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to check that everything is working fine. So let me just check that out for you guys. I just want to see if you're getting the same stream that I'm getting. I know there's a bit of delay and lag, but I just wanted to check that. Yep, it's working. There we go then. So a massive welcome to one and all. Welcome to the Apple streaming event. Well, I say the Apple streaming event, that was the last one. Welcome to the Apple Unleashed event. Sorry about that. So today's event is probably going to be the last event of 2021 from Apple. So this is going to most likely going to be a virtual event. And I'm going to be with you guys now for half an hour before the actual event starts. So a massive hello to everybody here. So do say a big hello and say where you're from. I'd love to know in the actual comments or the chat. I kept so used to saying comments all the time in my videos, so I'm saying comments now, but it's actually chat, isn't it? So say hey, a massive hello, say which country you're from. I'd love to know, and I might do a couple of shout outs. So yeah. All right, I'm so excited for this event. A little secret between you and me, and actually, I've been looking forward to this event probably all year round, I'd say. This is the event out of all the events. I know we've had an event back in March time, WWDC, and we've also just had the California streaming with the iPhones, Apple Watch, and iPads. This is the one for me personally. I'm really looking forward to. I don't know if you can see here. This is my MacBook Pro that I have right here. This is a 16-inch one, and it's whirring away with an Intel chipset inside it just to do a stream to you guys. It's going, what am I going to do? And this has got an i9 chipset inside it. So, yeah, it's quite crazy. Let's see then where everyone's coming from there. I'm just looking at the chat here. So we've got Robert Helberg from Germany. Hello to you. We've got Technical Penguin. Josiah, and I'm from the US. Good day to you. Lainey, we're from California. We've got Vangeli from Bristol in the UK. Good to have someone from the UK. I'm from the UK. We've got XX Master 97. He's from Australia, or she's from Australia. We've got Ayush, who's from India. So, yeah. And we've also got Kathy here from Colorado. Got one from Dubai. Sai Kam Tim, who's from Thailand. It's a late night there. Gosh, it is a really late night there. I've been to Thailand before, but yeah, it must be a really, really light night. But there's so many of you coming from Nepal, India. I could just go on forever. Thank you so much for coming along to this event. So this is going to be a fantastic evening, or where I'm from, it's in the evening. It could be morning, it could be night, it could be afternoon. I don't know where you are, but for where I am right now, it is 17:33. So basically 5:33 p.m. here in the UK right now. So really, really excited for this event coming up, the Unleashed event. I just wanted to say now, I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can in the chat. Obviously, I'll try and answer as many questions before the actual event, during the event, and afterwards. I'm going to be doing some feedback after the event of what we're going to see. But if you really, really want basically your comments or what you want to ask to definitely be answered, please do use the super chat. I'll try answering other questions, but the super chat facility is there, and I will try and I will definitely, I'll definitely answer any super chat questions you throw out there. But for everything else, I will try my actual best to do that for you guys. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about this event and what we think it's going to be all about. So unless you've been living under a rock recently or you haven't been following my channel, you will know one of the big pushes, a lot of leaks and rumors have been coming out about, have been the new MacBook Pros. Specifically, this is now the higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pro and the replacement to the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Now, I say the higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pro because, well, you can't do it now, I don't think, because the Apple shop's closed down while they get the new Macs on it. But before then, you could actually go on Apple's website, go to the 13-inch MacBook Pro section, and you'd have the M1 MacBook Pros, but underneath that, you'd still have Intel 13-inch MacBook Pros. And these MacBook Pros, for example, had 4 USB-C ports, whereas the M1 only has 2, for example. So, this is what that's going to be replacing. Apple before M1 or before Apple Silicon used to do their chipsets, the Intel sort of grade, where they used to have a lower tier Intel 13-inch and a higher tier Intel 13-inch. And I believe this is what they're going to be doing again with Apple Silicon. You'll have your M1 and you have your higher tier kind of M1 chipset, and that's what it will be replacing. And the same with the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Again, it used to just be basically two tiers in that. You'd have either the Intel i7 or you'd have the Intel i9 as your two choices. And I believe basically both of these are going to be replaced today, in my opinion. So yeah, it's going to be really, really exciting for that. Now, what the chipset's going to be called, this is a question that I've been basically saying in the last couple of my videos. We do not actually know. Now, loads of leaks and rumors out there, reports out there, keep referring to this chipset as M1X. And logically, it could be called that. Now, I say logically because generally what we're expecting is basically the chipset to have more cores than M1. Probably about the same speed as M1, but more of them, as it were. More GPU cores, more CPU cores. And Apple have done this in the past with like the iPad series. So, for example, the third generation iPad had an A5X chipset in it. The A5 was like put in like some iPhones. I think it was put inside the iPhone 4S, if I'm correct. But the A5X was put in the third generation iPad, and that X gave a few more graphical cores. And then if we fast forward to say like the iPad 2018 iPad Pro, so the current design we have right now, that iPad also had an A12X inside it. The A12 was put inside the iPhone XS and the XR, but we had the A12X. And the same thing again, we had more CPU cores and we had more graphics cores. And I believe, and a lot of other people believe, that that's what Apple are intending to do, to bring out M1X. And that's where this whole M1X has come from. Whether that is going to be the case, do not know. And that's why so many leaks and reports have been saying X because of Apple's history. But you never know, Apple could change it. Now, there has been a last minute sort of leak, rumor, report, whatever you want to call it, come out like in the last sort of 12, 13 hours. And it's basically saying now it's going to be called the M1 Pro or the M1X, or sorry, M1 Max, sorry. So M1 Pro, M1 Max. Whether this is going to be true or not, we do not know. So we will have to find out if we will get an M1X, M1 Max, or M1 Pro, or we might get all three. Who knows? I do not know. This time last year almost, when we had the first Apple Silicon Macs coming out, when we knew they were coming because WWDC announced them in the summer in 2020, and in November they actually got announced. At that event, we all thought it was going to be the A14X that was going to be put inside the MacBooks, and it wasn't the case. M1 just whoosh came out of nowhere. No reporters knew what the chipset was going to be called. We all presumed it was going to be A14X because, funny enough, the M1 chip is basically an enhancement on the A14 chip. So basically, that's what we all thought, oh, it's just going to be called the A14X. And it completely surprised us. It was not. So we don't know. The chipset could also be called the M2 chipset. So this could literally be the second generation. Maybe Apple every year will bring out a new chipset. I don't know if this is going to be the case because logically you'd say the next year's chipset is going to be the M3. And then you'd say, well, what about like the MacBook Air and other, the current 13-inch MacBook Pro, what I believe Apple keeps selling, what will they do with that? Would that get an M3? I would say no if they brought an M2 now, because you'd think that's more powerful. That'd be just weird that you've got a sort of 16-inch MacBook Pro, what they're still selling, and you can get the cheaper one with a faster chipset inside it. No sense. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be called that personally. I could be wrong, but we'll see that. Let's see then what some of you guys are actually saying here in your questions. How much do you think there will be on the price drop of older models? That's a good question. I actually believe there will be no price drop. Like I said before to you, I believe the M1 sort of Max out there are here to stay for now until M2 comes along. So the 13-inch MacBook Pro, like I just said, will still be sold alongside this new 14-inch MacBook Pro, we believe it's going to be, because that's a higher tier one. And I also believe that the sort of original Mac Mini, the iMac M1, what else is there? The MacBook Air, for example, and even the iPad Pro, they will all still remain for sale. They will not get any upgrades today, and their prices probably will not drop. Not until there's a second generation sort of chipset. This generation chipset, a lot of reporters out there, and I also believe, is basically an enhancement of M1. That's what we're going to see today, an enhancement. And that's why logically it's M1X, M1 Pro, M1 Max or whatever we believe the name is going to be, or it could be completely something different. We have to wait and see what Apple will say. Let's see what other questions we have in here. More people are saying here that Shahir Bernie saying the M1X is more likely to happen than the M2, as you said. Yep, I totally agree with that one. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be an M2. That means a whole new generation. So yeah, we'll have to see what's going on there. One other thing I just want to quickly say, guys, being that we've got like 90 minutes until the event, when the actual event starts, I won't actually be able to do like a picture of this event. So what you will need to do is open up another tab or open up another device, get another device, and open up the stream live. And I'm going to put something in the chat right now for you to basically do that. So open it up right now. I've just put it in the chat. That link there inside it will basically take you to the Apple event. So make sure you have that open up in another tab, or you have it open up on another device if you're like watching like on an iPad or an iPhone or whatever. Make sure you have it open on another device so you can keep the stream going, keep the party going here, and keep watching there. So yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Like I said to you guys, I will try my best to answer most of your questions on here. But like I also said, any super chat kind of questions that you ask me, guys, it's at the bottom of the chat box, what you can see there. I will definitely answer. So any super chat, definitely. So let's talk about what we're going to see. I've talked about the chipset, what we're going to see. What products are we going to most likely see today? So I believe, first of all, and I think it's going to go in this order, because Apple love to hype up their most exciting product till last, okay? If you've watched streams with me before, you will know Apple do the most exciting at the last. So the last Apple event, we did not get the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max at the beginning. It happened right at the end, and it always is that way. They build it up, as it were. So, and you know, the first actual item, think about it, was actually the iPad 9th generation, you know, with an A13 chipset in it, you know, the budget one. It was exciting, it's great, but do you get me? It didn't hype everybody up. So they always do it in that order. So based on that, personally, I believe, first of all, we will see the update to AirPods. So I've got some AirPods Pros in my ears right now, but I believe we will see the AirPods 3 at last, and these have been waiting for like 2.5 years now to be updated. It's been so long. It was basically, I think it was March 2019 we got the AirPods 2. So we've been waiting now 2.5 years, and I think they're finally coming. Well, a lot of us thought, including myself, thought we'd see them at the California streaming event, the iPhone event, because that made more sense. Because most, you know, you use your AirPods the most with your actual iPhone. You can use them on your MacBook, like I'm using mine right now, but that's what we thought. We thought that we'd actually be seeing them then. So yeah, it was a bit crazy that we didn't see them there. Maybe that there were some problems. I think you saw in some of my videos with manufacturing, and they've had to move some bits and pieces to Taiwan to make them. But I think they're finally ready. So AirPods 3 are going to be the first one, and I believe a lot of bits and pieces are going to be borrowed from the AirPods Pro. And in fact, later on this week, I will be doing a review, specs review, comparing the AirPods 3 versus the AirPods Pro, because I think the AirPods 3 are going to really catch up with the AirPods Pro. If you've been watching like WWDC and all of these things where they've been talking about the AirPods, they've really been talking about the AirPods Pro. They're not really talking about AirPods 2, really, of enhancements and firmware changes. And they haven't really given it a lot of love, so it's a bit sad there. So I think the AirPods 3 is going to get a lot of love and attention today. So that's going to be the first thing that's going to be shown. After this, I believe the next item we will see will probably be the introduction of the M1X chipset. And this is the one product I'm 50-50. I'm literally going to say that I'm sitting on the line of if they're coming, in my opinion. And that is the new redesigned Mac Mini. Now, just like I talked about at the beginning of this stream, I said to you guys, like with the MacBook Pro 13-inch model, there are two tiers available. They have the M1, what's the lower spec one, and then you have the higher tier Intel one. And like I said, go back 2 years ago, you had a lower tier Intel, higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pros. So there were two sets, as it were. And if you go onto the Mac Mini page, I know you can't do it right now because Apple shut down the site while they're doing updates, but if you did see, you still had the M1 Mac Mini, but you still also had the Intel Mac Mini. And this was, like I said, the same sort of setup. You had the lower tier Mac Mini, higher tier Mac Mini. And I believe this new Mac Mini is going to replace that higher tier Intel Mac Minis. Excuse me. And with that, yeah, we will finally get that new chipset put inside it, new design, what I think is going to be even smaller and slimmer. That's what the leaks and reports have been showing us. Whether we will see this Mac Mini is the big question. I think this is the one where I'm so uncertain about. I'm 50-50, but I believe that will be the next product that's shown. And then afterwards, the next product after that will be a brand new iPod Touch. No way. I'd be shocked if it is, though. We could see a new iPod Touch, but no, I don't think it will be. It will be, of course, the MacBook Pros. And I believe, first of all, we will see the 14-inch with this new M1X, M1 Max or M1 Pro chipset inside it, and the whole new design and bits and pieces. And then we will get the actual 16-inch MacBook Pro introduced with its new design as well. So this is going to be absolutely awesome to see. And I believe that's how the event is going to unfold. Airpods 3, Mac Mini, questionable. Like I said, 14-inch MacBook Pro, 16-inch MacBook Pro. Like I said, that's my guess. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to it, okay? But that would be my guess. Let me know, though, in the chat here, what your guesses are. What do you think we will see today? Put them in the chat. I'd love to know. But let's just see what other people are saying here in the chat right now. It says here, for example, AP3 Access. The Apple website says that you've got, if you go to the AirPods section, it says, be right back. There we go. It's possible that the new AirPods are coming. What's it saying here? Charles Richards said, I've just sold my MacBook Pro M1 to get the MacBook Pro M1X. Ooh. That's going to be exciting. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be an M1X, M1 Pro, or M1 Max, or something completely different. We just know it's going to be a new chipset. Don't know what the name is, but I doubt it's going to be called the M2. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting stuff. Someone else here says, Natalia says, I'm going to cry if they do not announce new MacBook Pros. I think, to be deadly honest, I think you'll get protesters up at Apple, with signs, even fires. I don't know. If we do not see new MacBook Pros, I think everyone would be like, what? If this is just about unleashing some AirPods, what? I think everyone will go spare. Especially as well, remember, guys, that Apple said back at WWDC 2020, so summer last year, there'd be a 2-year transition of moving all of their Macs over to Apple Silicon. And technically, they have done almost a third, or I'd say a third to half, about almost half of their Macs are now on Apple Silicon. Like I said, you've got these top tier 13-inch MacBook Pros, what will become the 14-inch, the Mac Mini, the 16-inch MacBook Pros, both of them, the i7, the i9, they both need to be upgraded to Apple Silicon. You've got the higher tier Mac Mini, I've already said that one. What else have you got? The higher tier iMacs, I'll get onto that in a second. And also, you've got the Mac Pro. Now, I will say this right now, I do not believe the Mac Pro is going to be updated today. If we're going to see updates to the Mac Pro, personally, I'd be shocked if we did. I'd be really excited. It will not be till next year. It's the beast of the machine, isn't it? It's the most powerful one. And I don't think Apple is going to go, ta-da, it's the most powerful one. Oh, yeah, we'll do little updates over here. They'll leave that one to last because that's their big beastie. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And then the same with the iMac. I don't believe we're going to see the larger screen 27-inch, 30 or 32-inch iMac today. I think this could be delayed out probably till March next year at the next Apple event. And finally as well, MacBook Air, do not believe we'll see any changes to that today either. That will be staying where it is. So yeah, we'll have to see. Let's see what people here are saying. I hope RAM will be upgraded by consumer after purchase. Apple charges too much. I'm afraid RAM will not be able to be upgraded at all now anymore. If you've watched the last Apple event, basically the RAM is built all within the chip now. It's all together. There is no way you could undo it basically and change it unless you're super good at soldering. It's all built in this unified chip now, this chipset. So there will be no RAM upgrade abilities, and I don't think the same with storage either. I think everything's just soldered in. The way you build these new MacBooks, Mac Mini or whatever, it will be the way it is. It is stuck the way it is. You know, just like an iPhone, you buy it with a storage spec, it comes at that storage spec. So yeah, it's just the way it's going to be. Um, so yeah, what else have we got here then? And other sort of questions. A lot of people saying they're getting excited for the Mac Mini here as well, the M1X gang as well. But like I said to you guys, we do not know if it'll be M1X. It could be M1 Pro. It could be called M1 Max, or it could be completely called something different. We just do not know at this stage. But yeah, another thing I just want to quickly mention again, guys, is about the actual event. It's going to start in 9 minutes. Get yourself comfortable now. Quickly go to the toilet if you need to. Get yourself a drink. I've got my drink ready here. It's a nice fruity drink. There we go. In British terms, cheers. So yeah, if you've got a drink, raise your glass. Cheers. So yeah, I've got my drink ready. I've got my event set up. And that's the other thing I just want to quickly mention about the event. I can't actually stream the event here. I can't do a picture-in-picture, as it were, because of sort of copyright reasons. YouTube will shut me down instantly. I go, "Arr!" And they've done that once before when I first started out this channel. Within like 10 seconds of the stream, they went, boom, cutting you off. You're not allowed to do it. So the best thing to do is open up the stream in another window if you can. If you're on like a laptop or something like this, or a MacBook, or if you're on your iPhone or something like this, get a TV with the stream with YouTube on it, or get yourself another device, get yourself an iPad, another device, and basically open that up and get the stream ready and stay in the party here at the same time. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic to watch with you guys. So yeah, really cannot wait for this. So what else have we got here then? So let's have a look. Sharia Bernie says, doesn't matter what the chipset's going to be called, just so excited. I'm just going to grab a cup of tea before the event starts. So yeah, you've still got time, guys. What other questions have we got here? Oh, hey, do we get an extra iPhone giveaway entries for coming onto the live stream? Well, like I said, guys, in all my videos, when we get over 300,000 subscribers, I will be announcing the winner. If you get any scammers or whatever before that saying, you've won, it's not me. Only when we get over 300,000. And in fact, you know, I've got to say right here, I've actually got the iPhone right here, right now. And yeah, when we get over 300,000 subscribers, I am going to be revealing who the winner is of this iPhone Pro Max 128GB model that we have right here. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're brand new. Hit that notification bell, because when we get over that 300,000 figure, I'll be notifying who the winner is. But yeah, let me know what Apple gear you're planning to buy. Put it in the comments of my other videos, not in this chat here, in the other of my videos. And yeah, someone at random will be picked, and I'll be letting you know when we get over 300,000 subscribers who the winner is of this iPhone. We've got another one here. Can we expect the iPad Pro M2 today? I don't believe so. That would be super quick. Apple only once in their history have brought out an iPad. I think it was the third generation to the fourth generation, like within the space of like about 9 months or something, 6, 7 months. I do not believe they're going to do that with the iPad. The iPad's only been out now, was it since May? So we're 5 months in. Very unlikely. And like I also said further on to the stream, it's very unlikely that we will not actually see the M2 revealed today. It's going to be an enhancement of M1. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. The last thing I also just want to mention to you guys as well, just very quickly, is this chat that I'm doing with you and what you're putting in the questions here. There is a bit of a lag as well. So it's probably about a 30-second lag. So whatever you drop in the chat, I can't see it till about 30 seconds later. And what you're hearing me say, I said it 30 seconds ago. So yeah, just be just be cautious of that. And the same during the stream, I might say, oh, look at that. And then it's like, Matt, that was 30 seconds ago. It's just because YouTube lagged the stream behind. It's a bit annoying. It's just one of those things, but we'll have to see on that one how that goes. So yeah, what else do we have here? How confident are you with your price predictions for the MacBook Pro 14-inch? Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's going to be around the same amounts that it costs now for the higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pro. not the M1 13-inch MacBook Pro. And I'll keep spelling that out. There are two-tier 13-inch MacBook Pros, and there always has been for the last like 10 years. It's the higher tier one that's going to be replaced, and the higher tier one starts at $1,699, so $1,699 of that higher tier MacBook Pro 13-inch, and I believe the 14-inch will be around that price. Now, the reason why I say around that price is because if we just look at past history, what we had with the lower spec 13-inch MacBook Pro, what replaced the lower spec Intel 13-inch MacBook Pro, that came in, what was it, at $1,299, and voila, M1 $1,299, wasn't it, if I'm right there? And the same with the MacBook Air. In fact, actually, I think the MacBook Air was about $100 cheaper, if anything. And the same with the Mac Mini as well. It was $100 cheaper for that lower spec Mac Mini, not the higher tier Mac Mini. Remember, there's a higher tier spec one. So that's the one that's going to be replaced today. If we see a Mac Mini reveal today, it will be that one. And that pricing is what it's going to stick with. So do not believe you're going to get an M1X, M1 Pro, M1 Max for $1,299. It's not going to happen because that is the lower spec MacBook Pro. And you know, after this, if other people on my videos going, "Oh, you got the price wrong. You were $500 out." Yeah, could you go and comment to them and say, "No, he said," and I even said this in my video, he was talking about the higher spec 13-inch MacBook Pro that's going to be replaced, not the lower one. And like I said before, the M1 MacBook Pro 13-inch, I believe, is still going to be sold. It's not going to be like a cheaper one. It's going to just be there as the standard offering of the lower tier MacBook Pro, just like we have had for many, many years with the lower spec Intel and the higher spec Intel. So yeah, we're going to see on that one. What else have we got here? I'm just going to reiterate again, guys. We've got about 3 minutes left. That I cannot do an actual full live stream, picture in picture of the actual event because YouTube will shut me down within seconds. So yeah, please do use the link that I've got here in the actual chat. Put it in there. Probably came up 30 seconds ago for you guys. But yeah, use that. Open it up in a separate tab, or if you've got another device, open up in a separate tab, and yeah, stay in the party at the same time. It'd be great to see you guys. So we're running out a bit more time. We've got 2 minutes left. Adam Khan says here, imagine if the Apple Glass is shown at the event. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Oh, I think I'd fall off my chair here if that was shown. I doubt it's going to be this year, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm just looking here at my other screen. I've just opened up the other event, and it looks like Apple are getting ready to start their Apple Unleashed event. If you open up another tab, they're just flashing the Apple logo loads, so it's going to start very, very soon. So yeah, get yourself comfortable, guys. We've got about 2 minutes left. So yeah, we will see. But like I said, right about halfway through into this sort of stream that I was saying, I believe personally we will see AirPods 3 first of all. After that, we will see the Mac Mini, questionable, and 50-50 on that if we're going to see it. We might not. Then after that, it will be the MacBook Pros, the 14 and the 16-inch MacBook Pro that we've been talked about loads. And it will be that new M1X, M1 Pro, M1 Max, or whatever it's going to be called. Like I said, it might not be M1X, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we've got 1 more minute left. And I don't know about you, I am super, super excited. I say it one more time again, guys. Get yourself another tab open if you can. Get yourself another device open, ready for the event, because it's just about to begin. And it looks like they're about to begin right now, getting lots of flashes on the screen. So get yourself comfortable, guys. It's about to begin. Oh, I thought it was going to begin then. Let's have a look. Any second. The event starts any second now. Come on, they like pulling it out, don't they, Apple? Getting you all hyped up, and then it's like, start, and then they don't actually start. Remember, guys, this will be a virtual event as well, so it's all pre-recorded. I'm watching it on the screen here, so if you see my head tilting this way, that's why I'm watching it on the screen here. But I will try my best to answer as many of your questions as I can through the chat, through this stream. So, yeah, let's get excited. It's almost here, guys. Any second now. Everyone got popcorn? I haven't got popcorn. Oh, Oh, it keeps teasing us when it's going to start. There we go, unleashed. It says it, it said it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what this is all about then, guys. Remember, guys, join me at the end of this event for feedback as well. Good to be in feedback. Oh, it's a garage or garage. Is it Tim? Is he recording an old iMac? I used to have one of these iMacs. I used to have it in that colour as well. They've recorded the startup tune. It's all about the startup tune, guys. I'm glad they brought it back. They took it away for a few years. And it was like, what are you doing? They're not changing it, are they? They made a song out of the startup song. We're making songs out of Apple devices here, guys. Plugging in and out of MagSafe. That's a clue to MagSafe there, guys. MagSafe might be coming back. So excited if it does. Oh, the HomePod for your iPod. Click wheel on the iPod as well. This guy's got a lot of cool retro stuff. I've got some retro stuff here as well. Massive good morning to everybody, or good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the event. It's just starting out here. I'm going to be giving you coverage of the event. And then obviously after the event's finished, I'll be giving my feedback of everything that we've seen today. So yeah, like I said, I believe it will be AirPods first, then the possibility of a Mac Mini, possibility 50-50 on that one. Then I think it's going to be MacBook Pros. As I've said already, guys, make sure that you've opened up another tab or another window to watch this event, and Tim's on the screen. The grass looks quite dry, doesn't it? Music and the Mac. AirPods, 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 AirPods. Music and the Macs. It's got to be AirPods. It's got to be AirPods, isn't it, guys? It's got to be. Yep, AirPods. Had to be AirPods. It's got the AirPods first. What do you use your AirPods for, guys? And let me know if you've got AirPods or planning on getting some AirPods. Put it in the chat. I'd love to know. Apple Music experience taken further. Let's go, guys. Nice hat. I like his hat. Zane Lowe. I think Zane Lowe was a radio presenter in the UK at one point. I'm quite sure he was. Yeah, it's Zane Lowe. Yeah, he used to be a radio presenter in the UK at one point. Didn't know he works for Apple now. That's cool. So it randomly does it. Spotify does this, doesn't it? Yeah, Spotify does this at the moment, so it's good that Apple Music's catching up with this. Oh, AirPods Free, okay. A new subscription plan first. The voice plan? Ooh. Everything through just voice. Wow. That's a pretty cool idea. I don't know if I'd use it though, because like if I'm on the train or something, I don't want to shout out, play this playlist or play this song. Voice plan's very cheap. That's pretty cool. That's very cheap as well. Very good price. That's a very good price as well. I don't know if you can just use it with your voice. Can you use a device to choose? So I'm not too sure on that. Mm. HomePod Mini? Not a new HomePod Mini. Excuse me. Oh, I like the roof. The roof is like a HomePod Mini. Can't be a new HomePod Mini. It's only a year old. It's got to be a firmware update like they did with AirPods Pros. It's got to be. Don't worry, guys. I think what's it? AirPods are coming. I think you got it right there, Games. Yeah, I'm a bit questioning about this Apple Music with your voice Siri to use it. I'm a bit, what if you're on a train or something? If you're in the office, you're at work and you want to listen to your music, do you have to shout it out loud? It's a bit, yeah, I'm a bit, don't know. Hopefully you can use an interface, on your phone or something, because I'd be a bit question about that. But this animation's cool for your HomePods. Is it HomePods new colors? It's just new color HomePods, I think. Some nice new colors for the HomePod. I feel bad now though. If you bought yourself a HomePod in black, you're stuck with it. So we'll have to see. Right, I'll just say to you guys again, just very, very quickly, Apple will not be showing the MacBook Pros, if they are, right to the end. Okay? It will be always the most popular product right at the end. Just like the iPhone events, the iPhone Pro Max and the iPhone Pro were right at the end of the event. They will not be before. So it'll be this HomePod, then it'll probably be AirPods Three, the possibility of a Mac Mini, we don't know. Then it will be the MacBook Pros. They always leave the best to last. And most likely, I'm going to say the MacBook Pros are the best to last. So it'll be at the end of this event. It will not be at the beginning. So you're going to have to hang in there and watch the rest of the event until we get to the MacBook Pros. But it will be coming, I'm quite sure. See what Tim's got to say next. It's got to be AirPods. It's got to be. AirPods. Here we go, guys. AirPods Free. Ooh. Spatial audio, isn't it? It's got to be spatial audio. Spatial audio. AirPods Free. Come on, show us some AirPods Free. AirPods Free. I've used spatial audio. It's really good and Dolby Atmos on my AirPods Pro, and they're brilliant. Robbo27, I completely agree with you. They need to cut that grass, don't they? Really need to cut the grass. Oh. AirPods Free. Yay, AirPods Free. Oh, look at that new design. Ah, the leaks were correct, guys. That's exactly what the leaks said. They look awesome. New design AirPods, shorter stems, and the way how they go into ear looks incredible as well. It looks much better. Waterproof. I swear I just saw water splash on them. They look awesome. Force sensor. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. New mode distribution driver. It's about time. There's got to be a new chipset as well inside it. That's awesome. Oh, yes. Sweat and water resistant AirPods. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully, these ones will sit in your ears, Robert. See how good this design is then. Why is it different than special? Let's see. Adaptive EQ. That's cool. This is what I was thinking. The AirPods 3 is going to be taking a lot of features from the AirPods Pro. Not all of them, quite a lot of them. And then the AirPods Pro 2, what I believe will come out next year. I'll be shocked we see it today, will be even more enhanced. So we'll have to see. Like I said, I am going to do a video later on this week with the AirPods 3 versus the AirPods Pro specs. So yeah, we'll be see. Nice case. That case is very similar to the AirPods Pro case. Not the long case anymore. I think I've got one here, yeah. Here we go. These are the AirPods 2 at the moment, so they're much longer. And there's the AirPods Pro. 6 hours of listening time. Awesome. That's pretty good going. That's better listening time, better battery life. It's about time. Their Beats headphones are doing better battery life, and they own Beats, Apple do. So it's about time they updated the battery life in the AirPods. Oh, MagSafe. Awesome. So they'll glue, as it were, they'll stick to it. That's pretty good. That's awesome, those AirPods 3. Same price as the AirPods 2. Oh, next week they'll be available. Ooh, available today. Oh, they're still going to sell the second generation AirPods. That's pretty cool going. I probably will get some AirPods 3, definitely, most likely, to do a review for you guys to see what they're like. They do have a really good lineup now. The Mac, the Mac, the Mac, the Mac, 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 Mac. Is it MacBooks? We're going to see a Mac Mini. Mac Mini. Ooh, I don't know. Like some 50-50 on a Mac Mini. And also the chipset name. I don't know if it's going to be called M1X or M1 Pro or M1 Max. I'm not sure. Something different. There we go. 2-year transition. M1. Come on, what's the new chipset going to be called? Come on. Come on. What about you? I'm super excited. Here we go. Even more systems, he said. So we might not just get MacBooks, it might be something else. I think it could be a Mac Mini. Pro users. MacBook Pro. Ooh. That'd be funny games though, if it that much speed increase. That'd be hilarious. What's the chip going to be called? Oh. Is it going to be called the chip? M1 Pro? It says Pro chip, so it could be M1 Pro. M1 Pro! There we go then. M1 Pro. Let's see what it's all about. So it's not M1X, it's M1 Pro. Like I said to you guys, there was no guarantee it was called M1X. We just didn't know. So it's M1 Pro. We do. I'm one of those users who needs even more. What does M Pro one have? Yeah, you're going to combine it together. I think you're right there, Jim Carlos. M1 Max and M1 Pro. I think that's what's going to happen because that's what a leak said earlier today, about 12 hours ago. That's what's going to happen. Wow, look at that. More powerful chip. Let's see what this chip's all about. $200 GB. Wow, that's pretty good. Wow, that is very fast. 32 GB of RAM, guide. 5 nanometers still. Twice M1. Ooh. 10-core CPU, what to tell you guys. Look at that. 8 high performance cores, 2 efficiency cores. What did the report say? Exactly that. 16 GPU cores. Got that spot on, didn't they, as well? Good on the old reporters there, leakers. They got it completely right there. That media engine is going to be awesome for video editing. I'm a video creator, as you know, so I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be very fast. Wow, that's pretty good with ProRes. I like that, Mr. Dodo. Display engine. Oh, he said more displays. Ooh. That is pretty cool. Thunderbolt 4 as well. 2 external monitors, it says. M1 Max. M1 Max. M1 Max. It's got to be M1 Max, hasn't it? It's got to be. M1 Max. There we go. Doubles it even more. So 64 gigabytes. It's got to be 64 gigabytes of RAM, this one has. 6 times M1. Wow. That is a lot. 57 billion transistors. Wow. That's a lot of chip. 10 core CPU. 32 core GPU. 32 core GPU. Of course it does. 4 times the performance M1. That's going to be incredible. Wow. How many display ports can it do? Can it do more screens? Well, that'd be awesome. Could do like 4 screens at the same time. Wow. That's going to be super powerful. This is going the benchmarks are going to be through the roof. It's going to be more powerful than the Mac Pro. This is. Wow! I cannot wait to get my hands on one. I don't know about you. I'm super excited. See what the GPU does. Don't know about integrated graphics. You can't compare it to that. What about a dedicated graphics card? It's got to compare it to. Oh, he not doesn't want to show against a dedicated graphics card. That's cheeky. Okay. So it's slightly more powerful. But what is that PC graphics card? Compact Pro PC laptops graphics. This is going to blow everything away, guys. M1 blew us away. This is going to completely just change everything, isn't it? 40% less power. High-end PC laptop. What is that graphics though? It's got to be an NVIDIA something, isn't it? Like a 3060, 3070. It's going to be crazy. Mac gaming finally. Well, good question. Good question. Wow. That's a lot of great numbers there, guys. This is going to blow things completely out of the water. I'm absolutely amazed by that performance. Because I saw this last time, and basically I was a bit like, maybe we'll have to see if it's true. We'll have to see if it's true with M1. But if they're right there and they're doing the same with the M1 Max and M1 Pro, it's going to be amazing. 4 monitors with M1 Mac Pros. I think I might get myself an M1 Max chipset, guys. So Craig's going to show us off now. I want to see it like a Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro. I want to see the difference here. I like that. I've ambassador since. I think they are working with aliens. Yeah, instant wake from sleep. This is so exciting. This is, guys. Wow. It's going to be amazing, this is. Three times machine learning. Wow. 20 times. That means then, guys, that this chip, when you do a video like with M1, it was so fast to do it with the hardware software integration. It's just going to blow things out of the water. It's going to be like about like 5, 10 times faster. Here we go, apps. This is the bit I'm looking forward to. Logic Pro and also Final Cut Pro. I really want to see. I don't know if they're going to show Photoshop. They might. This is crazy stuff, guys. You can do. This is all the information that we knew from last time. Oh, exciting updates on the apps. Logic Pro, first of all. Spatial audio mixes. Awesome. That's pretty cool, the tracking feature. Whoa. 10 times faster. Photoshop. Go on, give Photoshop. I want to see what Photoshop does. And Premiere. Premiere would be cool to see. Don't know if I do Premiere though. Oh, DaVinci Resolve. Photoshop. Oh, Premiere. Premiere. I like that, how they stack them up. There's more of them. 4 times, 3 times, 2 times. Super fast. Wow. That's amazing with DaVinci Resolve. Look at that. Blooming out. That's amazing. I do like these animations. They're awesome. Thousands and thousands of spinning cubes, guys. It will be interesting what games turn out like. It really will be interesting. It's going to be amazing. I don't use Premiere Pros. I use Final Cut Pro, but still, it'll be impressive to see what Premiere Pro can do. This is crazy stuff, guys. I'm blown. I'm absolutely blown away. Let me know what you think of M1X. Well, not M1X. I'm still saying it wrong. M1 Pro and M1 Max. Let me know in the chat. Tell me what you think of it because it sounds amazing. Look at that. Start trekking. Definitely life changing. Whoa. It's crazy, this is, isn't it? It's crazy. Back to John. So we're going to see some new devices now, I think, guys. New MacBook Pro. First of all, which one first? Here we go. First MacBook Pro. MagSafe's back, guys. MagSafe. Touch ID. Yes, MagSafe. MagSafe. So glad it's back. HDMI. SD card slot. Yes, it's all back. Oh, so happy, guys. How about you? Ooh, the new MacBook Pros. Touch bar, guys. Touch bar. Nice, nice, nice. It does have a notch. It has a notch. It has a notch. I didn't think it'd have a notch. 16-inch and a 14-inch. Nice. Wow. A notch. I can't believe they put a notch in it. I swear I saw the Touch ID button as well. So why have you got a notch and Touch ID? I don't get it. I'm not too sure there. I got rid of the touch bar, but you put a notch in. I'm not sure now. 50% more air. Well, hopefully it doesn't get uber hot. Really? I hope so. Like my MacBook Pro i9 I've got right here is blowing fans like anything. Wow, nice and thin, nice weight. Let's see what more is about this design then. I can't believe I got a notch. That's really getting me. I didn't think they'd put a notch in it. I really didn't think it was going to happen. They love the notch, Apple, don't they? The notch is here to stay, guys. I'm afraid it ain't going anywhere, is it? So, I mean, if it's got Touch ID, physical keys, didn't work out, did it, Apple? I like that black, as it were. Lovely. Why would you have Touch ID and the notch, like Face ID? It doesn't make sense, unless that notch is something different. It might have center stage, but still. I'm glad you're adding the ports back. Good, good. HDMI. I will miss the touch bar, I'll be honest. I only use it for like doing like my spellings. It auto corrects my words when I'm typing. I like it for that. Like on your iPhone, you have at the top. I will miss that. MagSafe is back. MagSafe also. Not a lot of love here for the notches there, people. Four screens. Oh, oh, and a 4K TV. Four screens. Four screens. That's crazy. That's good. I think they've done the right thing here. I was gonna say, yeah, USB Type A is. They argue it's died. I'd say. So you still got your dongles, but at least you just have to get a dongle now with just USB on it. The Retina Display. Let's see what they're talking about it. Slightly thinner, not much, only slightly. 24%, that's not a lot, really. That's a big difference. 60%, that's more like it. I'm not sure about this notch, guys. I love the MacBook Pro, but I'm not sure about the notch. Yeah, it looks great in dark mode because it hides the notch. I think it's great. Just the notch is bothering me, guys. Let me know if the notch is bothering you. 16.2, it's bigger. It used to be 16. Wow, more pixels. It's much more sharper screen. 14.2, hey. 5.9. Promotion! Yes. I'm really happy about that because that will just save your battery life like mad. That's going to be awesome with promotion. I'm really happy about that for promotion. It's going to be awesome. That'll be cool. You can lock your display, refresh rate. 1 billion colors. Liquid Retina XDR mini LED technology, guys. Same like the iPad 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Sorry, iPad Pro. Yep. Look at that. That's really cool technology. Ah, that screen there is awesome. I'll just buy it for the screen, guys. Just buy it for that. It's gonna be great. That is. This is definitely a leap forwards. Mini LED saves so much on battery life as well compared to a normal LED. 1,000 nits. Wow. It's an amazing screen. I agree with you there, Mr. Dodo. If this everything claims to be what it is, Windows laptops going to be very much behind the curve here. They've got a lot to catch up on. I will agree there. The world's best notebook and display. It could be more expensive. 1080p. That's good. Is that notch just for the camera? There's no Face ID. If it's just for that, that's going to be a bit unusual. Oh, okay. The notch is just that. Why did they just put a hole punch in? That's strange then. The notch is for just the camera. Why not just a hole punch design? You can put a hole punch design in mini LED. It is possible. I'm a bit confused by that. Hmm. I bet they always do fantastic speakers in the MacBook Pros. I've got my 16-inch one here, what I'm doing the stream off, my Intel one. Brilliant. So if they made it even better than that, wow, it's going to blow you away. Uncle Gerald there, good question. I think because it's an adaptive screen, it'd probably be better. If you watch a video on an iPhone 13 versus an iPhone 13 Pro, same battery, the iPhone 13 Pro has a better battery life than the iPhone 13 because it's got that adaptive screen up to 120 hertz, it can drop right down to 10. So actually, it gives you a better battery life. So I don't think you're going to have a problem there. That's a good one, Peter Gilmore. M1M, M11M, M11M. Maybe for future upgrades, it's like face recognition. It could be for that. It could be for that. But if it's just for the camera, I don't get it. There's normally more sensors. That's what the Notch has got on an iPhone and an iPad Pro, Face ID, because you've got those extra sensors. So it's just got the camera. I'm very confused why it's got a notch just for that. Two times. Look at that. Two times of the i9. I've got an i9 here. Two times what I've got right here. Wow. What? I've got a 5300 in mine. Oh my goodness. Four times faster. Wow. So to me, it's probably going to end up about six times. So I've got the 5300. Machine learning, definitely. And that will help as well. So Final Cut Pro and, this Photoshop, it's going to be even more quicker. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, this is what I was telling you guys. It was the higher tier MacBook Pro, the i7 one, what they used to sell up to today. So you can see, look at that in performance. It's crazy. 13 times. Wow, that completely blows it away. Totally blows it away. I agree with you there, Uncle Gerald, as well. Two chips. I was not expecting that. I was expecting one. So yeah, it's crazy. So does it share the 64 gigabytes of memory. So it can share that memory around. Using that machine learning, it's going to be awesome. It can share that RAM all around with the graphics, CPU performance. It's going to be absolutely crazy and amazing. I did. I like your name, Death Wish. You're called Death Wish, and you put Rip Windows. Very appropriate there. Hands down to you. Wow. 8K on 8K, they can do that on battery. What? That's crazy. 7.4 gigabytes per second. That is super quick. There'll be no bottlenecks. That was the one thing I was thinking about. There'll be a bottleneck with the SSDs. So faster SSDs with that faster chipset, you just unlocked all that potential. I want to see the efficiency. How many battery life? That's crazy. Two times having battery life. Mm. Compared to what though? Come on, tell me how many battery life. How many hours? 17 hours. That's pretty good. Remember, M1 does 20 hours. 21 hours. It's like double. It is. It's double. Fast charge. 50% in 30 minutes. That's crazy. One sec. It better come with a charger in the box. It better come with a charger in the box. Don't sell the blimming charger separately. I will not be happy. The camera's a 1080p camera, they've said already. Just a standard camera in a notch. It is extraordinary, those Macbook Pros. No, no new Mac Pro has been announced. Mac Pro, the desktop, no, has not been announced. MacBook Pros have. I want to see a beast machine again. Let me know, guys. Are you going to be getting yourself a new MacBook Pro? What size? What chip? And be honest, are you going to get one? M1 is still good, remember? Unleashed, definitely. That's crazy, this MacBook Pro. Price is going to be coming soon, guys. Prepare to fall off your seats for the price. I think I'm going to be wrong with my price here, guys, because it's got so much in it. If it keeps the same price as the higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pro that we used to have and the higher tier i9 MacBook Pro, then yeah, it's going to be crazy. Remember, the i7 MacBook Pro 16-inch started at 2,399 US dollars. And I think it was for the i9, it starts at 2,600 or 2,700, I think it was. So if they push it above 3,000 US dollars, whew, it's going to be extreme, isn't it? It's going to be extreme. I like that video. Prices, prices, prices. Let's look at the prices. High end 13-inch, I said. $19.99. Okay. Okay. So the 14-inch has gone up 2 by 2. Wow, that's pretty incredible. Ooh, we've got 10 minutes left. So I wonder if he's going to reveal something else special just before the end. But those MacBook Pros, wow. It's a lot of money for those MacBook Pros. It's crazy. I think it's the end of the thing here, guys. End of the event coming up. It's crazy. It's the end of the event, guys, I think, coming up. There we go, then. There we go. Wow, what an event, guys. Absolutely crazy, hey? Right, I'm just going to get comfortable. I've only got about 15 or so minutes here, guys. So, yeah, let's go over what we saw today. So, first of all, we had that brand new music subscription what's come out from Apple. So, that music subscription, yeah, it looks absolutely crazy. I'm going to use the word that you've got to use your voice only. I can't, if I'm on the train, in a library, at work, I've got to use my voice. good price, but I just don't know. I just think that's a bit random to do that. I'm not over happy, I'll be honest with you, with that, that you've got to do pay that much just to use your voice. So hopefully there is an interface. I'm really on that one. So yeah, that's the Apple Music. So let's move on to the next thing then that was revealed. It was the HomePods. They come in different colors now. Nothing really too new there. Spatial audio upgrades, firmware upgrades. That's it. Usual sort of stuff. Got some new colors: yellow, blues, reds, and whatever, oranges. So yeah, if you want to get one of them, you can do. But to be honest, I love Apple products, but I've got a Amazon A lady, I'm going to call her, and I prefer that, to be honest. So I haven't really invested into that. What was the next thing that we saw? So we actually saw the AirPods 3, and they look pretty cool as well. And yeah, it's about time they got upgraded. We've been waiting ages for those new AirPods. So it's about time that we actually got that. So I'm really, really happy at last that we've got those new AirPods 3, and they do look spectacular, and they look like they're borrowing a lot of features from the AirPods Pro. I will be doing a video later on this week comparing the AirPods Pro versus the AirPods 3 in specs. But yeah, coming out the same price as the AirPods 2, that's pretty cool, and they're still selling the AirPods Pro, the AirPods 2, sorry, for 129 US dollars. That's pretty cool as well, to be honest. Now you've got a good range there for everybody. You know, anyone who's just bought yourself some AirPods 2 in the last 14 days, take them back, get a refund. Especially if you want from Apple, they'll just take them back and buy them again for about $50 or so less. So yeah, $40 less. I can't do my maths yet though, because I'm still astonished by the next thing that was shown, and that was the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Weren't they incredible chipsets? I'm absolutely blown away by those new chipsets. Absolutely blown away. Where do we begin? So the chipset architecture has changed. The leaks and reports were correct there. That it would be a 10-core chip CPU. So we'd have 8 performance cores and 2 efficiency cores. So absolutely amazing that's going to be. And then the GPU, wow, 16 cores for the Pro and 32 core for the Max. Woo! And then the choice of 32 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes of RAM as well. Oh, amazing. And how much faster it is compared to M1 and compared to the old i7 13-inch MacBook Pro, that higher tier 13-inch MacBook Pro, and also compared to the i7 and the i9 16-inch MacBook Pro. You know, it was double the power in CPU performance of the MacBook Pro 16-inch one, the i9 one. That's what I've got right here. So this is what you can see here. Absolutely incredible, that chipset. So yeah, absolutely amazing. What was next? Let's talk about the actual MacBook Pros. So the MacBook Pros themselves, yeah, they're crazy, aren't they? So let's start with all the positives, and then actually, let's do the negative first. So to me, my only negative I could see with that MacBook Pro, 2 negatives. One is that notch. Don't get it. So do not get that notch. It just houses a 1080p camera inside it. That's it. It doesn't hold Face ID. That's why, if you look at videos about Face ID, there's like 3 or 4 sensors, and that's why we've got such a big notch on an iPhone. That's why it exists as a notch. Why put a notch in a MacBook Pro if it's just going to be a 1080p camera? Makes 0 sense. I do not get it. I really do not get it. I guess it's a bigger sensor behind it, but come on, Apple, you could do a hole punch design. Why a notch? I don't get it. I really, really do not get that. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed there that they've actually done that. So we'll have to just wait and see. Is it going to be okay to have a notch? The other negative thing potential from my point of view is got to be with heat distribution. So these chipsets are beasts, as you saw, the Pro and the Max, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. And, that's a huge chipset and a lot of heat. I know they said they're much more efficient, but they didn't really talk about heat. I know in the video it said for most of your daily tasks, the fans won't even turn on. But these are for pro user guys. You won't buy this MacBook Pro just to go scrolling around on Safari and upgrading your Instagram pictures. It's not what it's for. It's not what it's for. And you won't just be watching videos on it just for the fun of it. You do not buy it for that. You go and buy yourself an iPad, or you go and buy yourself a MacBook Air for that. You do not buy it for Office, really. You buy it for Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere, Logic, Final Cut Pro, Xcode developers, blah blah, graphics, da 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 da. It's what it's for. You do not buy it for anything else. So I am a bit worried that with those pro apps, basically, what would it do for heat distribution? I'm running my i9 MacBook Pro 16-inch right here, and the fans are whirring right now, just doing a stream. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. That one I've got a question mark. That's my negative, but it might turn into a positive. We'll have to wait and see. We can only find out when they come released. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. So let's talk about then the next thing then. Let's talk about positives of the actual designs. So, and then we'll answer some of your questions as well, guys. I promise I'll answer some of your questions. And I will just say this now, if you use the super chat feature, on here, I will definitely answer your questions, because there's so many questions to answer here. I'll try my best in answering as many as I can in the next, say, 15 minutes or so. But if you do a super chat, I will definitely answer your questions. So I'll say that. But let's go over the pros of the MacBook Pros then. So that ProMotion display. Oh my goodness. Adaptive ProMotion. So this means it goes down to 10 hertz all the way up to 120 hertz. This is going to be absolutely incredible, especially on battery saving. Look up some videos online where people do a comparison of the iPhone 13 versus the iPhone 13 Pro. Remember, these have got the identical batteries in them, but that's got the ProMotion display in the 13 Pro. And the battery life in that 13 Pro is way better than the iPhone 13, even though it's the identical battery inside, same chipset. In fact, the 13 Pro's got one extra GPU core inside it as well, and yet it does better battery life. It's crazy. So yeah, that's going to be absolutely awesome to see that. And yeah, so excited for that XDR Retina display. It was a mini LED display. We knew it was coming, and it is finally here. So yeah, absolutely buzzing about that one. Let's talk about the actual keyboard then. So love it, hate it, it's gone. The touch bar has gone, guys. And, it's Marmite, isn't it? Some people loved it, some people hated it. I loved it for only one reason, and that was like with an iPhone, when you're doing your spelling, you're typing out your words, it could do autocorrection. I loved it for that. And I will miss it for that. But to be honest, the only other thing I used that touch bar for was adjusting the brightness and adjusting the sound. That was it, really, and adjusting my keyboard light, as it were. So not too sad that's gone. But it's good to see that you've got the Touch ID button in that round sort of circle, like what we've got now with the iMac 24-inch. So that's pretty cool. And I love that kind of black finish on the keys, around the keys. Awesome. Something else, what's incredible, it's got to be all those ports now, what you've got on the sides of the MacBook Pro. You've got that brand new version-free MagSafe. MagSafe's back, guys. So been looking forward to that. I've tripped over this MacBook Pro here with the USB-C, and sometimes it pops out, sometimes it doesn't, but so glad that MagSafe 3.0, as it were, is back in. So that's going to be awesome. Glad that the USB-C ports have been updated to Thunderbolt 4 now and USB 4, so that's awesome as well. The other thing as well, really happy about, is that HDMI is back, and also the SD card slot. That's mainly the only reason why I plug in a dongle into my MacBook Pro. It's for the SD card slot, like the videos I make for you guys. And occasionally I do plug in a normal USB cable. Or if I plug into another screen, again, I have to get HDMI because my screen doesn't have a USB-C to USB-C end on the actual monitor. So it's been good on that one. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy on that one. Another positive as well has got to be that battery life. It's so good for the chip that you're getting. Blows me away, especially the 16-inch. It's definitely the biggest amount. It's like double the amount of battery what you used to get on the i9 MacBook Pro. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Let's talk then about the prices then. That's next. So, and then we'll talk about the Mac Mini. I haven't forgotten. I can see people saying about Mac Minis here. So the Mac Mini then is basically No, sorry, the prices are a little bit crazy. I'm going to say that. So I can't believe it. That what was it again? It was $2,000 for the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and then it was what was it? $3,000 for the 16-inch. Crazy as that is. That's absolutely crazy. Sorry, guys. While I'm talking to you here, I'm also ordering the MacBook Pros ready for everything here. Funny enough, though, I'm just having a look here. I'm just doing some choosing. Hmm. I cannot see the actual. There's an 8-core CPU option of the 14-inch. That's crazy. And there's also the 10-core one as well of the 14-inch. Starting. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, the pricing is absolutely crazy. It's a bit more expensive than we expected, but look at the performance, what you're getting at that starting price. So you are getting what you pay for. Look at those benchmarks. It is what it is, guys. That's Apple for you. They always do this. Let's talk then about the Mac Mini next. So the Mac Mini is we didn't see it. I think it still will come. I think we'll see it probably now early next year. Like I said at the beginning of this event, and like I said in many of my videos, it was 50-50 if it was going to come. We didn't know. We didn't know if it was going to be coming or not. So we'll just have to wait and see. And I did say that in a lot of my videos recently, we're going to have to see. But when that does come out, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So yeah, that is. I'm really looking forward to that Mac Mini M1 Pro and M1 Max when that does come out. Let's just answer one or two of your questions then, guys. And then I'm going to have to go, I'm afraid. Education price. I don't think there's an education price. This is not for education users. These are for the pros, guys. So I don't think it's going to be there. What else have we got here? Do you think the iPhone 14 will hide the notch? There is a possibility that the notch will disappear with the iPhone 14. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure. So yeah, we'll have to. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Let's see what other people are writing here. So new keyboard, yes. No touch bar, massive yes. MagSafe, enormous yes. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't agree more there. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah. Someone else says, can you get a second mortgage to get these MacBook Pros? Yeah, you're right. That's a good question. That is a good question. What do I think about the design? I actually like the designs. It looks like we've gone back to that sort of Retina Display MacBook Pros that came out in 2012 to like 2015. So it's really, really good on that one. Let's have a look then. Next question. I'm going to do two more questions, and I'm going to have to go, guys, I'm afraid. AirPods Free or AirPods Pro? I'm going to do a review video on that, a comparison of those two later on this week. So check that out and I'll let you know which one's going to. I need to look a bit more detail into that. But just hold out on there if you can and I'll let you know. What else are people going to say here? One more question. It's so sad about the price. You've got to remember, guys, that the amount of performance. Look at this. It's like M1 Pro, just M1 Pro is 3 times faster than M1. So, if that MacBook Pro starts at 1,299 and you're getting 3 times that performance, come on. And you're getting a brand new design MacBook Pro because the 13-inch MacBook Pro was not a redesign. It's the same design we've had for ages. What you're expecting in a way, it's going to be the case here. It's going to be the case. So, yeah, don't be too disheartened there. Well, guys, I'm also going to basically close down this video now because I've got to get going for something. But it's been fantastic to do this stream with you guys. Keep the chat going. Keep asking questions to all yourselves. But thank you so much for joining me on this event. And I will be catching up with you soon. Look out for some more videos about these MacBook Pros coming out very, very soon. So I will be talking to you then about them coming up very soon in the next week or so. But for now, guys, I'm going to go and yeah, take care of yourself. And thank you again for joining me on this stream.